All righty, guys. Welcome back to the Sleuth Intuition channel. I'm your host, Patrick Vallejos, coming to you live from Phoenix, Arizona. Today we are discussing the Abby and Libby case, also known as the Delphi murders. And this will be an open discussion, open panel. If you want to call in, the link is pinned there in the chat. If you need it, mods, please help somebody out. If there's anything you want to talk about in regards to the case, feel free to email me. If there's any questions that you have, fire away. What's up, CJ? Beth, welcome in. Jill, good to see you. My guy Redfoot, what up? No effects, how are you? Patricia. Hey, Jari. Sealess, Shadowbox, Ziggy, Dawn. Good Friday. Doris, good to see you. Diamonds. What up, TJ? I was just watching replay of members only, messed around and got my feelings hurt. It happens. What's up, cheeks and see through? Sees through. So I was working on the documentary, the Chelsea Grim investigation we did. Feel like I've been going nonstop. Figure I'd take a break and catch up. Yeah. I don't like to do politics on this channel. You know you ain't right. Barb, real quick, we got somebody calling in, but I can already tell I'm having some audio issues. Barb, call right back, okay? I'm going to reset my my StreamYard real quick. It'll take 1 second. Come right back. Okay, Barb, if you're there, call right back in. I want to know more about the Cray, Ross, Renfro alias. Like, why does Richard Allen have an alias? Honestly, I think that was just a mix-up. When you look up his information, that pops up as an alias, as a potential alias. But those things are like probably 85% accurate. And there was another Richard Allen that lived in Delphi at the time. I think he was about 10 years older than Richard Allen. He was actually on a terrorist watch list or something like that. Some kind of no-fly list or something. But he ended up moving away. Okay, we got somebody calling in. Looks like Barb F. I can't hear you yet. Hold on, I got to bring you on.
Okay.
Okay, now you're live. You're on air.
It's Tattoo You. Can I turn my ugly face off?
Yeah, hold on.
Okay, thank you.
You should have control over that.
Okay.
Click,
Cam.
yeah, click that.
Okay.
There you go. All right, now I'm going to add you up on the screen.
Okay, thanks, Sleuth.
Welcome in, Tattoo.
Hey, how's it going?
Good. How are you?
I'm good. Lots of surgeries and stuff going on, but I love the way you are covering this. You and just a couple other of the YouTubers are doing a really good job, but there's not many.
Thank
uh,
you.
so I just have a question, and this is baffling me. I was just thinking about it. How can why aren't Richard Allen's co-workers, friends, ex-friends, people he knew recognizing his voice and coming forward and saying, "Hey, that sounds like Richard Allen." I mean, wouldn't you think somebody would, or like, "Hey, I knew it all along, it was him," or it's just crazy. And I'm just playing devil's advocate in my own mind because I really think he's guilty, but yet no one is coming forward. And it's weird.
Um, I think at one point these same folks that you're referring to were part of what they're afraid of. They were on the Facebook groups.
Right.
They were following the true crime channels.
Right.
And then all of a sudden, this guy they used to joke about, Richard Allen, that they thought was too short or too quiet to do anything like that. That's obviously violent. He's announced as their suspect, and now they're scared because they remember how they used to accuse people and go search people's
uh,
names and addresses. They know the bloodlust. Remember Diener? I'm out of here.
yeah, that's a good point.
So they might be afraid of all of that. I would be.
Yeah, I think, yeah. Oh, I definitely would be. I wouldn't want to be involved in anything. I mean, it would suck to be famous or infamous or whatever. I mean,
Well, for example, who was it? The psychologist recently. They like found her in a Facebook group.
yeah,
I had
right.
everybody emailing me about it, and I was like, "Hey guys, just calm down. I bet you it's just the wrong person."
And it wound up being the wrong person. So,
Yeah, well, they
I,
did that with, Richard Allen's military records too. They, like, put out a whole different person's records, and they don't even care. Like, they won't correct their information. They won't go back and be like, "Oh, well, we were wrong." No, they just jump right on it because they don't have a care in the world about any repercussion at all because they know that everything that they're doing is a farce.
that's just so. What did Judge Gull say? Sloppy and what? How the sloppy work or something? That sloppy, shoddy work or something?
And
Yeah.
what's crazy is those guys aren't sloppy or shoddy. So what that tells me is that that was all by design.
I think, yeah, they're throwing everything out there. And then I've never heard of a court case where a judge will come in and say, "Hey, before you come to the hearing, you're not allowed to mention this stuff because it's it's not even um
Relevant.
associated, relevant." Right, exactly. But I've never heard of that happening before, and good for her.
Uh-oh, hold on.
Okay.
Hold on. I'm having an audio issue. Hang tight. Hopefully this won't kick you off. I don't know why this is happening.
Okay.
Um,
If it does, thank you. And I hope justice for the girls.
okay. Just hold.
Okay.
Yeah, hold tight. Call right back if this resets. Okay.
Okay.
Alrighty. So are you there?
I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yep, we're all good to go. Sorry, what were you saying?
Oh, no, I was just I'm just like they're throwing everything out. And I just and you know what else I'm afraid of, which is really weird because Richard Allen's new photo mugshot does look like his lawyer, which Baldwin, right?
Bald.
So what if they're gonna do something crazy, like dress them the same and say to the, eyewitness, "Okay, can you tell which one, cover their face and which guy?" I mean, they're
They
getting.
already trimmed him, but that would be, I mean, I've seen some stuff like that. What was that on Saul Goodman? Do you ever watch that show?
No, but I saw a movie that had something like that where they dressed the two people up. One of the guys was blind or something like that. It was an old movie, but yeah, I could just see something like that, Hollywood type movie thing going on and being like, okay, well, you can see how good if you can't tell the difference between Baldwin and Allen. I mean, I'm not, I expect the unexpected in this case, is what I'm thinking.
Yeah, you have to. And the thing is, they have a million excuses for why they did what they did or why they, and this goes for Nick McClelland, the prosecution and the defense. They're going to break rules, they're going to bend rules, and then they're going to have a million reasons why they did it and why
Exactly.
it was okay. And so who
And then
knows what's next?
and I feel so sorry for the family of those girls and having to go through. Can you imagine, like, if this was before internet time, they wouldn't have these problems, but the internet has just made uh not a lot of good stuff happening with all these crime cases and just the public involved. And I mean, it can you imagine?
Well, the crazies find a home. There's a,
Right.
there's pockets for them to hang out and beat their drums, you know.
Well, I'm sure glad I'm on the knowledgeable side, or the side that has some sense to it.
Well, the way I look at it is it's vibrations, it's we're up here on a vibration. It's kind of like a straight wave, and
Right.
they're below us and it's kind of wavy. And I guess even though they found a home down there, it's all ski wampus, but they found a home and they don't care if they're right or wrong as long as they're all together in it, they're happy. They can't get up there to that higher vibration.
They're trying to make quick bucks along the way from
Yeah.
the blood of the girls, which is just disgusting. Um, but listen, that's all I had to say. I want to thank you for covering the other case and going out, being feet on the ground, and doing more than just sitting behind a mic and doing
Yeah.
stuff. So,
You can
um,
only do so much behind this microphone. You know what I mean? You got to get out there and wait till the video comes out on all of that. We got so much footage, and you'll kind of see the scale of what we did out there.
well, I'm really proud of how far you've come. And I mean, from the MAGA wearing, dope smoking guy in the very, very beginning.
Oh, I'm still that. Don't you
Well,
get
me
that wrong.
too, me too, me too. But you've just grown into your own, and I think you're just awesome. And
Thank you.
I'm proud of you.
I
So thank
appreciate that,
you.
Tattoo.
Yes,
Thanks for
I
supporting my channel too.
Oh, sure. Well, listen, you have a good day. Make sure the wife has a good Mother's Day on Sunday.
All of you mothers as well.
Ah, thank you. And you take care. Keep fighting the good fight there.
Thanks for calling in, Tattoo.
All right. Take care, Sleuth. Thanks. Bye,
Bye.
guys.
Happy Friday.
Thank you. You too. Bye.
Awesome. Good call. It's a way to start it off. CJ, the good thing is the judge will protect the witnesses, in my opinion, as needed. Yeah, it's just weird to attack her. Like she's part of some conspiracy. Good to see everybody. Doris, Rain Dancer, CJK, Miranda, Hiawatha, Yankee, Doris, Cindy, Jessica. It's been a while. He can change his appearance. What doesn't change is the fact he said he was there. Well, we've all been attracted to this case because of how violent it seemed, just downright scary. Even for an adult, I don't know any grown men who being confronted with a gun and a knife and somebody with an intention of murder or a will to kill. How are you getting away, Mr. Big Shot? He didn't leave those girls any choices. Hey, what's up, Corey? Hit the like button. I hope everyone has a great weekend. Thank you. Some positive vibes right there. What's up, Daisy? Purple Haze. I agree with tattoo. Your channel has gone in such a good direction. The content and your views, all great stuff. Yeah, a lot of growth, a lot of personal growth from myself. A lot of it had to do with my relationship with God. I don't want to get all preachy and start thumping on the Bible, but I mean that's what it's all about. Going from oh, I'm a Christian to realizing what that really means, and that means you completely changed. There's things that you just can't go back. Because if you're able to go back, you were never where you should be. Because the one thing I figured out once I got there is there is no going back. Because now your eyes are wide open. Even if you wanted to go back, you can't. Because now you completely understand about how real it is and what that betrayal means. What's up, Jamie? Good to see you. Hey, V Marie. Why is Hiawatha hidden? Says it was an accident. She's like, you're all banned. Tired of this shit. Inquisitive, what up? Yeah, make sure you get her unhidden. Yeah, CJ. And there's just no more shame, you know? It's like I don't know. I don't know how to explain it. It's just a calmness. It's something that you can't undo. It's like a new responsibility that I have. Hey, what's up, Jody? Yep, happy Mother's Day. Yeah, I don't even know how to explain it. It's like walking through a door and turning around and trying to open the door and it's locked behind you. But the only thing that's back there is like regret and pain and judgment. But you want to go back there because the truth sometimes you can't face it. It's a good way to put it, Yankee.
All I can tell you, they were in the center of that tape. If you see it, it goes around in a loop.
And that's your property up to the water? Or where
Yes,
does your
right up to
line
the property.
up to the water?
Right up to the property.
Right up to the property. Hmm. Maybe I can do it. That sounds nice, Shadow. I think my kiddo and I are going to the coast for Mother's Day. Happy Mother's Day to you, moms. Which coast? I mean, that's not far at all. Just behind Ron Logan is his field. It wouldn't take long to leave this crime scene at all. 5 minutes. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, Jessica. Hang in there. Oh, interesting. My dad had a ranch back there for a while before they sold it. So I've seen some really good pictures of that coast. It's like tall cliffs, right? Cold and windy. That's crazy, Jamie. Block the whole chat. Oh, no worries, Jari. It happens. I've done it before too. But I think you're the only one that can unblock her, Jari. So make sure you go into your block list and unblock Hiawatha if you can. I don't know if she's back yet or not. Yeah, you hang in there, Jessica. Hey, Brad from Outside of the Grid. Another awesome YouTube channel. Yeah, rocky beaches. The water is ice cold. It's stunning. Yeah, it's beautiful. Very green, isn't it? From the photos I've seen, very beautiful. Who owns Ron's property now? Like, who's giving people permission to visit? Last I heard, or the paperwork that I have, it went to the son, but I don't know if he sold it or not.
The water.
Right up to the property. Half a mile.
Right up to the
All the way
property.
along the creek is belongs to this 40 acres.
How far are we from the Monon High Bridge?
It's right over there. You can see it. You walk down a little bit farther.
Open your eyes, fool. He doesn't like, he's kind of rude to these dudes.
It's about an eighth of a mile on the other side of that creek, and it runs like this. This ground runs like that. The creek makes a bend.
So he would have been breathing like that if he was the killer. He would have been like sounding out of breath, I think, with the whole guys down the hill or get down the hill.
It all comes together right down there across from that brick house. And that's the last pictures they had at the end of the bridge. So how in the world they got all through all that down to here?
So the bridge is right over there.
Yes.
How difficult? I mean, you know this land better. 53 years here.
Yeah, it seems CJK that there's been a lot of videos made recently of people just kind of trespassing all over, but they might have gotten permission. I don't know. The thing is you can go down there by the water legally, but you would have to go down the bridge, walk across the bridge, go down the hill, stay under the bridge or near the bridge, all the way to the water, and then walk right on the water's edge. And even then, I think you only have like maybe 4 to 6 feet, if that.
Right?
Right.
How difficult is that to get from the bridge to that area?
On this side, very difficult. Very difficult. What you see over there is it. Very difficult.
It's like a real life horror movie. Jamie, rest in peace, Uncle Ronnie. Don, I didn't get permission. I think I got something for that.
Yeah, well, you know, that's just like your opinion, man.
I was getting those vibes from that comment. I agree, Jamie. What's up, Steph? What are you up to? So this would be looking over at the Weber property from the crime scene. And notice at one point there used to be a little bridge right here. See it? And I believe there's a trail that goes back up this way to directly to the Weber property. Shoe tree. Did we get Hiawatha back? What's going on with that? Jari, did you unblock her? Let me know if you didn't unblock Hiawatha. Because then I can go in and unblock her myself. Yeah, you're always welcome here, Jamie. What's up, Cynthia? So there's the bridge, that little bridge I was showing you. And I think there's like a path back here. But you can go down the hill right here too. But you got to start at the property. There's also a path that goes back this way. Now, if you were trying to make it to the Wilson Bridge from here, you would have to go up all the way up the private drive and then down here because this is all cliff. You'd have to go up and then down, cross the bridge, and then you're free. You can walk all the way to the shack from there. It's a long walk, but there is an hour, an hour and 45 minutes of lost time. Thank you, Don. Just wanted to make sure. Shadow, I'm an expert at not fitting in. I kind of like not fitting in. It is still owned by Ron Logan's son. Beacon is a site where you can get ownership information for any property in most counties. Yeah, and most counties have an assessor. It's a tax assessor, and you can get public information that way as well. Got a 14-month flex from Jamie. Thank you, Jamie, for supporting my channel and being a member. for 14 months. Damn. I hope here longer, but my membership got messed up and had to restart it. Well, I appreciate that. Good to see you, Jill. Jill's actually related to these folks. She's a local. So you guys remember when who was it? Was it Kim? Yeah, I think it was Kim. Kim Riley. He said you can look down from the balcony of the home up on the hill and you can look down on the crime scene. He was talking about this balcony here. Well, something strange about this balcony is I don't know if these were here before or after. So it's just strange that they're facing the crime scene. I always thought that was eerie. And also the fact that you could see the crime scene from here, right? Almost like you could fantasize about it. That was always stemming from what the hell was down the hill, right? Why go down there? Why go to that crime scene? Well, one, down the hill is obviously someplace that Richard Allen has been before. And across the creek, I think, was out of the plan. That was when chaos ensued. Crew of misfits. Yeah, Robert Ives felt like they were going to catch this guy. But remember, everybody's like, man, what was going on with Dan Doolin? And how was this guy working at the CVS? And why wasn't his friends, why weren't they talking about it? Why didn't they come forward? What was going on in his family life? Why were they hiding him? My answer to that is Richard Allen. We were all attracted to this case because of some evil. We were like, what's this evil? It's got to be police corruption. It's got to be the families involved. You know, Abby and Libby are trying to tell the world, hey, it's much deeper. It was none of that. It was Richard Allen. He's the evil. He's much worse than we could have ever expected. He's this creepy guy that he's a Jedi. He can wave his hand, and right before your eyes, he turns into a tiny, helpless family man. So the evil that you were all sensing, I believe it now to be Richard Allen. It was him the whole time. It wasn't police corruption. It wasn't the family. It wasn't Odinist. It wasn't a conspiracy of all of the above. It was just this little guy. Something that nobody ever saw coming. Not because you're all dumb and not because everybody was fooled, but it's because he's that evil. From a young age, he's been doing it. Jedi mind tricks on everybody. Thank you, Vermilion. I don't always catch lives, but when I do, I super chat. Get them thumbs up, no scrubs. Thank you so much. The entire world was drawn to this case. How could these two young girls be murdered so brutally in the middle of the day, middle of the day like that? Sent chills up my spine. First time I read about this case, I hugged my girls instantly. I was filled with fear. And I've never been the same since. Thank you, Cindy. There's no going back. I tried. Once you walk through that precipice, that's it. It closes behind you. It's like the labyrinth. You ever seen that movie? Shadow says, I'm actually deeply disturbed, even more so lately with the weird Richard Allen supporters. It's not about justice and it's effing weird. Well, to me, they're just projecting some of their own personal turmoil. They're all struggling. They see Richard Allen going through this turmoil. They themselves are in inner turmoil. They can relate with him for whatever reason. I don't know if it's because he's up against all the odds. I don't know if it's the alcoholism. I don't know if it's the fact that he's most likely a child killer. I don't know what it is. But on some level, subconsciously, they're relating with this person. And I don't really think they give a shit whether or not he's guilty or not. Because they're here to agitate, aggravate, disrupt. I told you it's that lower vibration. It's a darker wave that they're on. And if they can't reach the upper echelon, that calm, positive vibration, if you can't beat them, join them. They just start surfing that weird wave. It's a very ski wampus, and it's just going up and down, but they're at home. All of them chanting the same thing. And if one of them steps off a little bit, boom, they're thrown off the wave. They don't want to be cured. TJ, of all of the crazy Richard Allen defenders, you'd think his wife and mother would be one of them. Well, their presence in the courtroom is inspiring. And once again, like I said, Richard Allen being the evil, and the more that I see that, the less I feel like they've had anything to hide. The more I feel for them. The more I realize who Richard Allen is, the more I feel that they are completely innocent and not complicit at all. I just think it's something that this man can do. It's his evil strength. I mean, I could totally be off. That's just my own personal opinion. Yeah, it's terrifying. I mean, you're thinking, what is it? How is he getting away? Well, that's how he's getting away. Richard Allen is this little guy and he hides right in front of you. Right? Jedi mind tricks. I am not the killer. You are not the killer. Nope. And then he just skips on his merry way. Nope, just little old me. Let me just walk underneath your legs. Whoop. Don't worry about me. I'll be on my way. That is the evil. That's what we were all looking for. We were so confused. You have this video of this guy on the bridge, thanks to Liberty. You know, we needed that reference. Without that reference, there's no timeline. And those witnesses aren't as important as they are today. So we needed that video. We have that video and then we have the audio. I think there's still a lot we don't know about that part. Maybe 2 devices. Maybe we got audio coming from 2 devices, video and audio. With the video and audio, how could this guy not be captured if he works at CVS? How? How is this possible? We all thought, how? And then we looked, we did our investigation, and we said, well, it's the family. It's the Odinism. It's a conspiracy. I couldn't find anything. So that's what it's got to be. Right? But the evil that has been attracting us is this guy that we can't see, even when we want to see him. There's 50% of the majority of folks looking into the Delphi case who still can't see Richard Allen. They still can't see him. There's something we don't know about Richard Allen. He's into something really dark. He's got some kind of weird cloud around him. But I don't see the cloud anymore. I can see who he is. He's a very proactive, sophisticated killer, in my opinion. If they can prove in a court of law that he was there at that time and that bullet was cycled through his gun, I have no doubt about it. He hasn't showed 1 ounce of remorse. I don't know if it's a political agenda, V. It's more of a personality gathering. Personality types, outrage types. And I think the political part that I was referring to doesn't mean that people that are into like left-leaning politics are going to be like that. I'm just saying that people that are like that, you can see that they also have that in common. So I don't want people to feel like I'm coming at you. It's more of an observation. But I think it's more about personality and character types. You know, the kind of folks that don't do their homework. Oh, this lady was in a Facebook group. Let's get her. Let's dox her kids. Wait, did you verify it was her? No, fuck her. Who cares? We need to ride this wave. Who cares if it's her or not? Well, what about the military history of Richard Allen? Who cares if it's the right Richard Allen? Just hide the social and let's keep it moving. They just don't give a shit. Because they got each other. And when he's found guilty and he finally confesses and they get a video confession of him saying, well, this is why I did it, they'll be quiet for a month or two. And then out comes the new angle. It never ends, guys. There's no reason to argue against it. There is no logic. Jamie Sleuth, you are so brave to stick to your theory. They like to troll and dox anyone that doesn't agree. Well, that's why you got to dox yourself. Yeah, and if anybody ever came after my family, I wouldn't talk about it on YouTube. You just wouldn't see me for a while, and those folks can guarantee that I'm coming. But we won't talk about it because we'll be too busy. We'll be too busy to talk about it. Hiawatha. I'm not a Richard Allen supporter, but I do think there has been some crazy things going on with both the state and defense. I don't think there's been anything going on that's crazy. I think we're just paying close attention. If you go pay close attention to any case, you're going to see this. Just like when people who haven't been following a whole lot of cases, they start following Delphi. They're like, oh man, Delphi is such a scary place, and Kokomo and all of these people, it's filled with pedos and drug dealers and killers and racists. And well, I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but if you take a microscope and put it on your area, it might even be worse. I get corruption, and I am not a fan of cops, but the poor Richard Allen crap, I can't stomach it. Yeah, I'm not here to be pro prosecution or pro law enforcement. Every time I go into Ruckus's chat, I think I call him the fuzz or a pig or, but that's our freedom. That's just expressing our freedom. But the truth is, you can't have justice without law enforcement. So anybody who's calling corruption and all of this shit is just because they lean towards anarchy anyway. So I guess that does go back to what you guys were saying about it kind of being political, because really, I guess there is a big part of it that is, especially with the anti-cop stuff and the anti-establishment, just agitation in general. Good to see you, Todd. True crime fangirl. What's up? Crow, how are you? No matter what you have to look at, all the evidence, no matter how off you see it, I want to see Elvis on the stand answering questions about questions because I think he knows it all. Why? Why? That's crazy. He knows it all. One thing I've noticed about low IQ people when they're who have a history, a criminal past, when they're dealing with law enforcement, they ask stupid questions. They're just trying to engage. Maybe even sound smart. Like, hey, I watched CSI yesterday. Let me ask this stupid question. Or they like the attention. Is it alarming what Elvis said? Yes, 100%. Okay, prove that he was in Delphi that day. It's that simple. Until then, it's hard to kill two girls when you're 150 miles away. So, and as far as the confessions, I've seen enough false confessions. I believe that he did confess. I believe that Brad Holder confessed too. And the other handful of people who have confessed to the murders who think it's cool. TJ. Oh, yeah, I don't think they have anything to hide. I just think if he was innocent and was getting coerced to confess to them, they might have been able to detect that. I think so too. Statistically, we're dealing with a lone wolf killer. In my opinion, there's much more going on here. I feel like these girls were targeted. I feel like this crime was pre planned. And also all the stuff that was going on with the phones, the Anthony Shot stuff. I mean, I think it's all part of this huge plan, a bigger plan. So either we're dealing with the lone wolf or somebody that helped him plan this. Like, I'll go out there and kill those girls, like a thrill kill, even. Remember the Scream murders? Those two young boys killed their friend just for the thrill of it. And then they videotaped it after, talking about the murders. They're riding that wave, that dark, low energy wave, right to hell. They don't care who they take down in the process. It's very scary. The political theory was started by Mike Thomas, the failed sheriff. He was in groups behind the scenes pushing that narrative. Yeah, and that's the problem. And that's what happened. The same thing that happened to Barb McDonald happened to the murder sheet. They had inside information. So to them, they were, it was kind of verifying their bias already. They had information that wasn't released to the public and that none of the online sleuthing community had. So therefore, it was confirming what they already knew to be true. So while they were having confirmation bias with Keegan Kline, you had Barbara McDonald having confirmation bias and inside information relating to Ron Logan. And they can't wait to show us all, to enlighten us. Hey, what's up, Tech Death? Sleuth Intuition, do you know what time bicycle guy McCain was seen leaving from the cemetery? I don't even know if that's true. I really don't know. I haven't been able to verify it. The only time I've ever heard of an older gentleman being anywhere near the trails is through Becky Patty and her recounting those first couple hours. Still no mention of that person in any of the legal documents, anyway. Hey, Hathers. Good to see you. Mears had to have a camera in order to see bicycle guy come and go. Yeah, I don't know how true that is. What's up, Kirsten? Concrete evidence comes out at trial that he did the horrible thing. I mean, the better question is why was it so planned? It'd be different if he kind of parked up at the trails and he was just going out for a walk and the girls just somehow triggered him, pissed him off somehow and he flipped out. But no, there's something going on with that CPS building. I mean, we know you can come and go out of that building. Who knows? Did he park at the CPS building and go smoke something? Was he planning on maybe bringing the girls down to another vehicle and then going into the CPS building? Is that the shack? Is that why we see multiple vehicles? Witnesses stating multiple vehicles there? Maybe there was. Just no evidence to support any of that right now. Right now, we got some guy, most likely a lone wolf, deciding to commit these murders. All right, guys, this will be our 10-minute warning. If anybody wants to call in, anything you wanted to ask me directly, and replay crew, let me know in the comments. And if anybody needs to get a hold of me after the fact, just hit my email at sleuthintuition@gmail.com or go to sleuthintuition.com. And I have all of my contact information there. Crow, what motive did Richard Allen have to do it? We don't even know what Richard Allen is the bridge guy. Well, let me ask you this, Crow. Richard Allen admitted to being on the trails, right? Okay. So what is his bullet doing at the crime scene? Let's just start there. And don't give me any of this the cops planted their bullshit, because that's not going to fly to a jury. That's a whole nother criminal act. You need evidence for that. That's a crime. We know the bullet was picked up on the 14th and it's been in a laboratory ever since. What is Richard Allen's bullet doing there? CJK, I think Allen was very angry with someone that day, not necessarily the girls. He's dark, evil. I think so too, CJK. I think we're going to learn about that if we go through a trial. His fan base is overlooking the vile. I don't think they're overlooking it. I think they themselves are vile. I'm believing the evidence will point to him. I think they know that. But it's imagine getting a guilty man off. I think they're getting off on that shit. They're getting off by getting him off. It's all chaos. Rowing now. We'll still say they did well, then spew buzzwords like justice, fairness. So, yep, I agree with this. Minded, constitution, railroading, etc. Whatever makes them think they did the right thing. And they don't care. They'll be quiet for a month. And then now they've had time to come up with their explanation and we'll hear all about it. and how we're evil and how something bad should happen to us because he's an innocent person and we didn't care. And our family should suffer, and our family members should get arrested and falsely accused. That's how bad they've been gaslit and brainwashed or allowed themselves to be brainwashed. They start wishing harm on others because they're so convinced I'll kill your family member to prove it. You know, it's real stupid. How would Elvis know what? He didn't know anything. He asked a question. He said, if I spit on one of the girls and I could explain it away, would I get in trouble? So that could have been a generic question. He might thought he was playing Dick Tracy for a moment, Perry Mason or some shit. And then him saying, trying to scare his sisters, probably the most attention he's gotten from his family in 50 years. Plus, he said horns. There were no horns. There was nothing on the girl's head that wasn't naturally already there on the ground. So, what did he know? He asked a question. And honestly, if he would have spit on one of the girls, don't you think they would have his DNA? So I want to see if Crow's going to answer the 40 caliber. Exactly. A lot of people have the 40 caliber weapon. So why is his bullet there? They've already tested dozens of 40 caliber weapons. I'm going to give you an opportunity to answer that question because that's why he's going to prison for the rest of his life. None of the other shit matters. What is your bullet doing at the crime scene, sir? Well, how do you know it's my bullet? Well, we just proved it. And they will prove it. Yep, exactly. So if anybody's advocating for Richard Allen, just ask him that simple question. What is his bullet doing there? And don't give me any of this, the cops planted it bullshit. Because that's not reality. It's not. Yeah, and at the same time, sees through, I'm not saying that the video proves that that's Richard Allen. I'm simply saying that he matches that description. But that could go for Ron Logan too. It really, it's in the eye of the beholder. That's not the important part of the video. It's not what we think. It's what those witnesses think. Okay, you described a guy in all black. Why? Well, that's just how I remembered it. Okay, is this your guy in all black here in this photo? Well, yeah, but we didn't see him on the bridge, but that's the guy there. But we saw him over here on the trail. But you're telling me the guy that you saw is this guy. Well, why is this guy wearing more of a blue jacket? Well, I don't know, but it looked black when I remembered it being black. That's why the video is important. They're not going to sit there and analyze it the way we do and say, look, see, look, this looks like Richard Allen. No, they're just going to use it in for the whole timeline purposes. Jamie says they love deflecting and using dog whistle words like Darvo. Everything they say is in fact what they are doing. Yep, it's gaslighting, projecting. Do as I say, not as I do. Hypocrisy at its finest. I talk with no receipts, yet in the title of the video it says receipts, but I won't show you any. But I'll tell you there's a lot. Because if I can gaslight you into thinking you saw a bunch of receipts, we're good either way. Yeah, and I don't know if they've thoroughly vetted CJ, because I don't think they're going to thoroughly vet anybody that they have no interest in, right? That's like saying, did you thoroughly vet the Marathon gas station clerk also? You know, did you serve a search warrant on him? Because you can't do that to everybody, just folks that you're able to legally obtain a search warrant. So if anybody was involved, Odinist, family, whatever, the only person that's going to tell us is Richard Allen. And that's why the prosecution is running the case the way they are. We don't need to prove anything other than he's the kidnapper on that bridge. And that's what we intend to do. So if you want to tell us that Odinists are down there, or Kelsey and Mike are down there, if that's your thing. What was the other one? Ron Logan. If Ron Logan's down there, Keegan Klein, TK, Garrett Kurtz, whoever's down there, that's fine. You can tell us that part later. But you're also going to have to explain why they're down there with Richard Allen, who was our guy, the kidnapper on the bridge that led to a brutal murder. Yeah, I think it said 5-5 in the most recent one, CJK, if I'm not mistaken. That's what Barb McDonald put on X. ST3, welcome in. This crime was probably sexually motivated. Definitely. I think angry, just more of dominating. Look what you made me do. You know, this person made me do it. If you wouldn't have made me so mad, I never would have did what I did. The victims were undressed. At least one of them was. I think they both might have been at one point or attempted. A lone wolf seeking power and sick fantasy. He chooses victims he has no connection to. Yeah, and I don't believe this is spur of the moment. I just feel like he lured those poor girls there that day. So whether or not he used the Anthony Shots account through Keegan Klein, there's something there. There's something there. They'll just pretend they were neutral the whole time and on the fence. No, we're not going to let them forget. Don't worry about that. Crazy thing is not only that Richard Allen put himself on the trails, but the fact that he put himself there in the same outfit as BG before he knew they had. That's not true. When he came forward, I don't think they had a description. They didn't ask him for a description. They didn't need a description. They just wanted to know what the next step was in their investigation. Where are we going? So they didn't have the video ready yet. They didn't have any reference. So I don't think they were even concerned about that. And that is also another reason I think if Richard Allen is this guy, he's very proactive and sophisticated because he played the scenarios out in his mind. If I don't come forward, what happens? And once he broke it all down in his brain and in his mind, he determined if I do not want to get arrested in the next 4 days, like Robert Ives was expecting to, remember, what is attracting us to this case? What the hell is this evil component? It's Richard Allen. He's the reason that Robert Ives didn't get his arrest in 4 days. He's the reason that we had to wait 6 years. It's Richard Allen is the reason why we are so attracted to this case, because nobody even till this day believes it's him. I mean, try going against that shit. We're dealing with somebody who is clouded in some kind of evil. And that's why you have a group of people who are evil supporting him. That's where this energy is coming from. That's how he's been able to get away so long. That's what we've been dealing with. It really is that simple. All right, guys, that's going to do it for today's live stream. We'll try to go live a little bit later. Shout out to Tattoo. Great call. Great chat today, guys. Replay crew, let us know what you think in the chat. And if I'm not too busy, we might do this again later. Feeling good. So either way, have a great day. Be safe this weekend. And I'm going to go back to working on the Chelsea Grimm video. That should be coming out probably in a few weeks. So hang tight on that and take it easy. Peace.